Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports for Friday, March 29th. It is Robbie Fox along with the Wayne to my Garth, Clem. Clem, how we doing?
Doing all right, Bob. Kids just started spring break mere hours ago, so we are preparing for batting down the hatches. I don't know what hatches are. Do you bat them down? Is that like sealing the hatch in like a submarine kind of a thing? You think that's
I
batting
never knew exactly what that meant, but it sounds like a submarine thing. I always remember it from the Dark Knight Rises trailer. I think Catwoman says that to Selena Kyle, I should say, says that to Bruce Wayne when they're at the gala. She's like, you better batten down the hatches. Oh, yeah, so sounds cool, you know?
There's a storm coming, Mr. Always gets the juices flowing. I love that line.
Yeah.
How about you, Bob? How's everything going in the foxhole over there?
It's going all right. We started the week with a tough loss on that Bracket Busters thing we were telling you guys about. You know, there was 40 grand on the line. It was down to Texas A&M, our team, me, Big Ev, and Jack Mac, against just Pat and Joey. Texas A&M hit like a buzzer beater to tie the game, send it to overtime. It was looking like they had a chance, and then they broke our hearts. But, you know, since then, I've been having a good week.
That's what we like to hear, Bob. That's what we like to hear. You know, no A+ NYC employees, but still, you know, still coasting all right so far.
Yeah, nothing crazy, you know, but it's been pretty fun. One thing that I can talk about a little, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to talk about it. I don't think they'll be mad about this.
It's in the basement, Bob. Let it out.
I'm going to WrestleMania officially with WWE 2K. They're sending me, Brandon Walker, and Nate Dogg to WrestleMania. It's going to be really fun. 2 nights. It's not this upcoming weekend, but next weekend. And Brandon Walker and I are going to be apparently playing in a Celebrity 2K tournament with the new wrestling game. So right after we record this podcast, I'm probably going to get in the lab and start practicing because you know I want to whoop Brandon's ass.
Oh, that's awesome. I thought like Mincy was going to be like the mystery man that came out. I know they were doing some
with a chair, like.
Fellas.
Or like, you know, they do the egg bowl bet. Imagine he had like 1 egg left. He saved it.
Out of everyone in the company, as weird as it sounds, the person who I think lends himself to a Titantron music video and song is Mincy. Like, instead of "Hello, ladies," it's "Sup, fellas," and then
that'd be good. That's his wrestling theme. Pop Punk should do the rest of it. You know, we should do the instrumental because that's a great idea.
Oh,
that's
man.
really friggin' funny. But yeah, it'll be in Philly. So if you're going to be there, if you're going to be in Philly, you know, come down to, I think it's WWE World is where the actual 2K tournament's going to be. We'll be hanging out there all weekend. Obviously, WrestleMania itself will be there night 1, night 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we see Cody Rhodes finish the story, rub that in Karabas's face, that Roman Reigns mark. It'll be great. I'm really looking forward to it.
This feels like one of the bigger WrestleManias in a while, just because the whole Rock, and then it's like everyone said fuck the Rock, and then the Rock's gone heel, and it's getting extreme. I saw we even had like an Attitude Era essentially like moment where that fight going on. It felt like it was back when I was like your age watching wrestling.
Had a little blood, yeah. The Rock has been amazing. Like heel Rock, Hollywood Rock, whatever you want to call him, is tremendous. He's calling himself the final boss now, which is a great nickname for this era and everything. And yeah, everything about it. I mean, it should feel bigger because it's WrestleMania 40. This is like, you know, it's a big year, big number. They're kind of bringing the numbers back. I think Vince, he did away with that for no reason. I always thought that was stupid. I love like WrestleMania 23. You know, it's easy to remember what the main event was. But yeah, 40 is going to be huge. Praying it doesn't rain, praying it's not too cold. I did a couple WrestleManias at MetLife that were fucking freezing. I've done WrestleMania in Tampa that got rain delayed. So fingers crossed. I can't believe they're still doing WrestleMania outdoors, to be honest, but fingers crossed.
We've seen the sun like 3 times, it feels like, in the last month. So
that's what I'm saying.
I'm hoping that you guys
it's gone.
You guys are
yeah. maybe I'm trying to think like The Undertaker can't bring the sun out. He can only do quite the opposite. What wrestler could bring the sun out? We don't really have a positive one.
Kane,
Cody Rhodes.
Maybe Kane just to keep doing the fucking
just to light it up.
Fires. Yeah, the fires nonstop.
We got some fun stuff to talk about this week. A new episode of X-Men 97, episode 3, a new episode of Invincible season 2, episode 7. And because we haven't done it in a really long time, I said, fuck it, let's do a mailbag. So for the second half of the show, we will be answering your questions. I put out a call on Twitter earlier today, and we got a bunch of fun questions. So I'm excited to run down the lineup. We'll start with X-Men 97, episode 3. We were excited about this. Obviously, if you listened to last week, we were pretty stoked about episodes 1 and 2. We were like, it's perfect. It's basically everything we wanted out of this show. Episode 3 just continues along that pace. I texted you. I couldn't help myself. Like, I try to hold back, my thoughts, so we save it for the podcast. But I had to be like, dude, this show fucking slaps. It's great every week. And I know it's only 2 weeks, but like, dude, it's so good. I feel like we're watching the 90s X-Men again.
Yeah. Spoilers for this. And then Invincible, there will be spoilers. So you can cut to the mailbag if you have to catch up, or just watch the shows. Not too long.
I'll put the timestamps below too if you want to skip for spoiler purposes.
But man, I was younger. I was young, obviously, when X-Men, the cartoon, was out. I feel like one day it just wasn't on, and I was like, did it canceled? Like, it wasn't like on Twitter, I'd read about it. You have the people pissed off on Reddit and whatever. Or they changed times. I just remember being like, what happened to X-Men? Where did it go? And I was just very confused by it. Didn't have a TV guide handy at the time, which was a legitimate magazine that they would give you, where you would read where the TV shows when they were playing. And I feel like this show has shown up, and it just has fucking delivered every single week. And I'm so goddamn happy after doing a goddamn podcast about Marvel projects that did not deliver for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
These fuckers are just hitting, like.
And knock on wood, it's only 3. I do want to knock on wood, because we said similar things about Secret Invasion early on. Yeah, but I don't want to curse this either. Like, it does seem like so far so good.
Today is opening day as we record this. Thursday, March 28th. This will be released on March 29th when my Mets actually play, because we got fucking rained out here because of the constant gray skies over the Northeast. But it's like when your team is just hitting like stand-up double after stand-up double, and you're like, and pretty soon we're going to get a fucking home run. This is going to be awesome. That's what I feel like we're going with X-Men. This could be a cold takes exposed, which by like 3 weeks from now, we're like, what the hell just happened?
Don't be.
But we have like, this show has so much like history. It's like, just keep copying that template, bring it to the current stage, and like, it seems like the people that are doing this actually know the X-Men. What a fucking concept. What a crazy idea they had. And I don't know, man. I am definitely biased to all this. That's why I love recording this and hearing your opinion of it. And it sounds like you and me are on the same page. Our boy Large said he likes it, but he also was a picture of Rogue's ass.
I don't know if
I think
he just posted a picture.
Horny.
Yeah.
I think Large is just being horny.
I saw that tweet, and my first instinct was like, fuck yeah, Large is in. And then I looked at the tweet, and it's the Rogue laying down with her ass in the shot. I was like, fucking Large, classic Large. But I seriously loved this episode. Probably my favorite of the 3 that we've gotten so far. Mainly due to, again, spoilers. We got Mister Sinister. Like, he's in the actual episode for a lot of the episode, and he's fucking great. His design has always been one of the greatest. You've always been a big advocate of him on this podcast. Like, give us not necessarily less Magneto, but you're like, we've done Magneto a ton. Like, Magneto can be there, but give us Mister Sinister. Seems like that's what this season of X-Men 97 is going to be based around. Again, I don't want to speak too soon. It's only episode 3, but I would assume he's going to be the overarching villain for the whole season, because I don't think they're going to have Magneto flip at least before like the finale.
Yeah, he gets his little face run, right? And it's we'll just talk in wrestling term this entire episode in honor of WrestleMania.
It's WrestleMania season, yeah.
It's like, is this a thing? A dirty face where he has a face, but he has a little bit of grime on him, because he's not a pure baby face, right?
You would call him a tweener.
A tweener, okay. I feel like
that's like Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Attitude Era. He was kind of a tweener, but like if he's a baby face, but he's cheating to win matches sometimes.
Yeah, and you can tell Magneto's still like zinging them when he has to. He's probably just like to Gambit, like, want to smell my fingers?
I mean, Gambit,
Gambit's
a villain. He is a fucking heel to Gambit.
Gambit's like, it's like if I had 2 bullets in a gun and Mister Sinister and Magneto, I'd shoot Magneto twice. That's kind of how he would go about it. But Mister Sinister, I'm happy he is the villain, and this guy is going to be a fucking problem. I mean, he was fucking everyone up right off the jump. Every single character, he's just playing in their heads. You get in the X Mansion and you're just fucking. Now, granted, this is supposed to be like seasons into the series at this point, if you watch from day one, but nonetheless, like, when it takes a little while until, you know, the Batcave gets infiltrated, right? It's like we have a problem. We have everyone just freaking out, and it's nice to see a villain just kind of like up to this level right off the jump. A goddamn problem, and it just gets me more excited for the potential movie version of Mister Sinister down the road whenever they do that.
Dude, he's snatching babies. Episode 3, he's taking babies. Like, I was watching this right before I left the office, like this evening, watching it on my computer, prepping for the podcast, writing my little notes. And Nate walked past, and I just couldn't help myself. I was like, they just fucking gave this baby a genetic disease. It's fucking metal. And he was like, what? I was like, don't worry about it. X-Men 97, check it out. It's just like one of those shows where everything they do, I'm like, I can't fucking believe they did that. And then even like the Bishop stuff. Let's kind of get into it because I have like kind of sequenced notes here.
I just love like place the baby in like water. I'm like, you can't put babies in water. That's the first thing they teach you at baby school and parent school. And it's like, nope, we're doing this. We're giving him baby AIDS. He's just gonna sit in a tub of green goo. Hey, do you want to know what the word sinister is in the dictionary, Bob? Let me give you the definition of sinister.
Give me the definition. This is an educational podcast.
Bad. First thing, bad.
Oh, shit. I'm glad we looked that up.
Followed by especially evil or leading to evil, threatening evil, harm, or danger, ominous. I mean, Mr. Bad is this guy.
Dude,
he's lived up to his name.
I'm telling you, that might be the next My Mom's Basement merch drop is just Sinister dash Bad. That's a metal shirt. That is funny. My note for that part where he puts him in the fucking green goo, I wrote, oh my God, he put Nathan in a Lazarus Bacta tank.
Oh,
it's a mix between the Bacta tank and the Lazarus pit from Batman. They kind of morphed them together. Let's go to the beginning. They open the episode with the mystery of last week. Who is the real Jean Grey? It's, again, wrestling terms. It's like we got fake Diesel and fake Razor, and we got to figure out who the right one is, or fake Undertaker, even a SummerSlam matchup for you. That was a classic.
Yes, definite classic. I remember being just completely like flummoxed. The word we're gonna look up what is the word flummox here?
Let's look it up, Clem.
Let's look
it up. This is an educational show. People are learning something. You can't say you didn't learn something listening to this podcast.
Bewildered or perplexed. Yes, that's what I was when I saw two Undertakers sitting in the same ring. And wrestling is perfect for it, perfect comp, because this I'm realizing I don't remember this is the case with the old X-Men series. I think it was though. It's honestly just a soap opera for dudes, soap opera for nerds. In this case, with the X-Men, wrestling is a soap opera for dudes. Like, oh, there's two people. One of them has amnesia. They don't know which one's real. My wife used to watch. I think it was Days of Our Lives, and I'd like be on my computer. She watched. I'm like, what is this nonsense you're watching? And it kind of is the same shit, but ours shoot fucking lightning out of their hands. That's the only difference, and I love it.
Badass dudes say hell yeah when they see it.
Like if like she was like, oh, this guy's the bad guy. His name is Dr. Sinister. I'd be like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. We have Mr. Sinister.
But it's good. Everyone's haunted by their worst nightmare due to Mr. Sinister, which is a very Nightmare on Elm Street kind of sequence. Like it's literally everyone, and it's like bad nightmares for these people. He puts them in like hell, and the X-Men theme remix that's playing while they're in hell, fucking metal. You know what else is metal? Cyclops charging Bishop to kill demons in hell, and he's fucking lighting them out of the sky. That was awesome. When Mr. Sinister first appears and he's talking to like Jean, or is it Jean? And he's like, oh, you know, they call me Sinister. You can call me Father. That's like his first line of the whole fucking show. I was like, oh shit, that was good. And yeah, we do confirm that fake Jean is Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen, who we talked about a little bit last week in the comics. Very similar. Mr. Sinister makes her to infiltrate the X-Men, specifically Scott and Jean's relationship.
You know what I wish the Goblin Queen said? One of the greatest lines from another voluptuous redhead. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Jessica Rabbit. Framed Roger Rabbit. I said to Large, too, when he sent me the horny picture of Rogue, I go, just wait till you meet the Goblin Queen, pal. I was like, good Lord.
People were saying that they like toned it down because Rogue, I guess, isn't as, you know, curvy as she used to be. But no, I don't think they toned it down. I think they were like, no, Rogue just is drawn a little differently.
Yeah, and listen, you got to throw out like Emma Frost. You can't saddle down Emma Frost. Emma Frost has to fucking be popping those things to be the fucking whole essence of Emma Frost. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Not just again. I'm realizing why I love this show is like a guy who was just started the hormones racing through his body, and my mom's like, "Why is the door locked as you're watching morning cartoons on Saturday?" Mom, don't worry about it. Don't come in. I'm watching the X-Men right now.
Superheroes. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I don't know if I said this last week. It's something I never thought I would say, to be honest, but X-Men 97 is doing it to me. I think Morph is one of my favorite characters.
So I think it's the first episode of the original. He dies, right?
He does, yeah.
And then Mister Sinister, he comes back. Mister Sinister brings him back, and he's completely fucked by it, like mentally. And you can tell he has they touch on that here.
I love the way they reference it because you don't need to know, but if you do know, it's a nice nod.
Yep, 100%. I remember when he died in the first episode. Man, I'm fucking pissed. I was really looking forward to having like a shapeshifter on the team here because I don't remember more from the comic books. At least it wasn't the ones I read. So I was so thrilled when he was there, and I was so devastated when he died. And this Morph, he's like a dude. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we touched on it last week, but the fact he shows up with Wolverine's favorite beer, his favorite chips, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna turn into Sabretooth. We can fucking brawl a little bit." All-time wingman. All-time fucking wingman.
I even like his normal Morph gray form. Like he's just cool looking to me. Something about Morph. He's becoming my favorite X-Men in the 97 series. Again, I never thought I would say that about Morph, someone I don't really know much about right now even
the name, it's just like the Morph works, and it should be such a weird, gross name to say, but it fucking works. I'm with you, Bob. I would imagine a lot of people would agree with that too. You mentioned the Cyclops charging up Bishop. Then the previous week we had Gambit and Wolverine charging up the Claws. I'm like, how many power-ups can we do? Do they have they have all the X-Men and they're cross-referencing them to how because they got to keep this going. Not every episode, but we have to keep seeing what we can do here because that shit does make me nerd out every single time.
It's awesome. It reminds me of The Incredibles showed how you could use powers in teamwork so well. The parachute and shit like that they do together. Seeing the actual teamwork, it's a subtle little thing that we're just like, oh, that was fucking cool. But it does build the fact that these guys have chemistry together. They've worked together. They've gone to battle together. They've gone to war together. As Jean Grey obviously references, she's like, I've gone to fucking war with you guys. She snatches the baby from Scott. She's pissed about it. In that moment, when they're all kind of skeptical of listen, we appreciate you, but we don't know if you're a clone or not. Your age isn't matching up or whatever. She snatches the baby, walks out of the room. I was shocked nobody was like, don't give her that baby. We don't know if that's the real Jean. Let's hold off on holding the baby for now. But I guess it's hard to do to a new mother.
And it's also listen, I'm the one who had the baby bump this whole time. Other Jean is just some skinny little mini coming in here. She doesn't make signs of pregnancy. Do you want to see my vagina? This baby came out of me. Rogue took this goddamn baby out of me. Rogue showed herself to be a doctor. I had a fucking woman who could suck the life force out of me, delivering my baby, who she could have also sucked the life force out. So you don't fuck with a mama bear and her cub, especially that mama bear has psychic abilities that can completely just cripple you. So the whole kid thing too, where it's you have to give it up, and you're like, this is some brutal shit to be dealing with during a cartoon.
Yeah, and I feel like the show knows its audience. There's a lot of kid shows that throw in subtle nods for adults. This almost feels like an adult cartoon that throws in subtle nods for kids. It almost feels swapped. There was the one line where Wolverine's his balls are in his stomach. He didn't say balls, but it was, something along his cojones are in his stomach. That was also brutal when they're checking the times. And they're like, geez, your girlfriend has a lot of training sessions with the new boss there.
Oh,
Gambit's like, oh, fuck. He's like, I gotta go talk to her.
Dude. I'm like, is Morph fucking with him now? I thought Morph was fucking with him because he's keeps swiping. I'm like, I don't want to see this anymore. That was
really funny.
That's a good prank you play on him. It's fucking awful, legitimate mindfuck stuff. But yeah, that wasn't cool. And Mister Sinister, when he had his little game he played with Gambit, was having their skins literally like morph into each other. I'm like,
yeah,
that's a real fucked up way. Like, I'd rather just see them bang than seeing them like.
She was like talking. She's like, "Oh, he's so much better than you." Like,
and it's in the Rogue voice, which makes it even more like sexy and oh, it was not cool, man. Not cool.
It's bad.
Mr. Bad.
Also, gotta point this out. Impressive. Rogue walks a fine line getting into Miss Minutes territory with the voice, but she doesn't. You know, like there's a distinction where Miss Minutes it's like sus bitch. Rogue, it's like one of our own.
Yeah, it is kind of funny how I threw Miss Minutes under the sus bus the first minute I met her, and Rogue goes, "Oh no, she'll be fine. She's banging Magneto. Don't worry about it. No, she's good. She's good. I am definitely.
It's the only person she could touch. Feel bad for her.
Yeah, exactly. The only difference is like apparently I forgot this now. Rogue had that cake back in the day, so I've completely been blind. And Miss Minutes, she didn't have anything, which is why she was like, "You want me on this mannequin?" She's kind of she's like a 2D fucking object here. Where Rogue,
by the way,
very much 3D.
Is that Rogue picture real from back in the day? Do you think that's really from the cartoon, or do you think someone redrew it?
No,
I always figured it was fake. You think it's real?
I think it may be like doctored to make it look like that. I wouldn't be surprised, man. It was the 90s. Think about the shit you saw on wrestling. Think about all that kind of stuff. It's the Mister Sinister Rogue picture for the people that didn't see it. I'm going to say it's real. I want to believe it's real.
I think it's real. Pretty sure it's real. Yeah, I think it's real. From what I could see.
Do you see this meme of it here? I'm going to throw it up for the people watching on video here. Let's see. Let's pick that up. We're going to share it on the screen right now. And for the people watching at home, it's a very simple thing. And it just says, Apocalypse is here to destroy that ass. And it's just popping those cheeks. Apocalypse is here to destroy that ass.
That makes me want to go full Al Pacino and heat. Great ass. I love also a subtle little detail. If you look real close, you don't have to look that close. There's just like this little filmy filter over the whole show. I don't know what it is. I'm calling it the nostalgia filter. That should be on every fucking cartoon. It just brings you like, it looks like an old cartoon. It looks like it's from the 90s, even though the animation's improved. They lay that over it. Oh, it just gives you a warm feeling. It's like a warm blanket.
The mouths don't match up either. If you know, like you watch this,
it's animated like it was in the 90s.
Yes, you watch Invincible, and everything is like legitimate, word for word, beat for beat. Where here, it's like it was in the 90s, and again, like I'm 100% fine with that. I don't need everything to be fucking. There was like even video games. There's a point where video games, it's like we have to get better, cleaner, nicer. And it has to be realistic, and then at some point, Madden just stopped being fun because of that.
Yeah,
right? And it's like no,
a lot of video games. Yeah,
it's fun as fuck as it is right now. The most fun I probably have had on my PlayStation 5 is like playing the old. There's like a Ninja Turtles. They remade kind of like a Ninja Turtles arcade game.
Yeah, and it's I know the old graphics. Shredder's Revenge, is it?
Shredder's Revenge, yes. Yeah. It was, I think, I don't know if it was free on there if you had PlayStation Plus, or I bought it for like a couple bucks, and I just had a blast. I'm like, this is fun. This is just a very fun thing. I can't put the controller down. And X-Men's kind of the same way. It doesn't have the sharp edges as some of the other shit, but fuck if I'm not having a goddamn blast. And when I realized on Tuesday night that we were getting a fresh X-Men, I'm like, oh my god, it's a legitimate event now. Marvel. Would you say this is the first? No, that's not. I was going to say first Marvel event in the last couple of years for TV. Loki was like, oh, fuck.
Loki was big, yeah. WandaVision was huge, even though that was at this point a couple of years ago. Yeah, this is huge, though. I saw even the numbers for the original series are up 500%, over 500%. People are going back and watching it, yeah, which is awesome. And it's a clear indicator that, like, the X-Men are the future of Marvel. And hopefully Fantastic Four follows suit. Hopefully, that's as well received as this is.
This is such, and I don't think he's in trouble. Like, if it's an NFL coach, I don't think he was on the hot seat. But this is such a bailout card for Feige, where it's like, dude, you're going to have to navigate these next couple years with the movies, the Avengers stuff, yada, yada, figure out the Kang replacement. But it's like when somewhere in your Uno hand, you have 2 wild cards that you're like, I'm going to be good. I'm going to make that motherfucker draw 4. He has a couple big ones. Now, you can't fuck it up, but I think we'll be all right. I still trust the Feige in my core when it comes to that stuff. But I'll tell you, we did lose our way for a little bit. And again, they're kind of like they kind of just took the exact same cartoon from the 90s.
Oh, totally. But you know what? They listened to the fans. That was big. It was like a lesson in like, not always are they the, you know, the ones speaking online, the vocal minority. Sometimes they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes those people are just like, those are the fans. And in this case, it clearly was one.
I'm going to give you like the nice spin pieces they get from like the people that are going to be in Disney's pockets, which, hey, we can be in your pocket, Disney. You give us money, free shit, cameos. We can be bought. Like you go, like the best thing that ever happened to the MCU was 2021 and 2022 or 2023. Because then when 2025 and 6 and 7 came out, they had all the mistakes out, and X-Men and Fantastic Four were the best things they've done. And it's never had such momentum ever. And that is how we are going to make Rob, remove that from the podcast. We're going to send this one directly to Feige. We have to like make our pitch here. If they don't need, I don't need the basement lights to be on. If we've been paid, the basement lights can go on for free at that point. If we make our money, I want to be rich like KFC one day. Don't you?
I do too. And also, I've been getting so many recommendations on Instagram, suggested reels and stuff from Disney influencers, like people that just go to Disney, you know, and they make videos about it. We got to do a food tour of Disney. We've been looking for like, how do we make the next trip to Disney different? Dude, every day I'm getting the top 10 churros you could try in Disney. It's like 10 churros. We didn't see one churro. What are you talking about? So I think we're going to put together a pitch for the next Disney Boys trip to be, let's try like every, you know, it's going to be hard to do all of them in one day. We might have to do a 2-day trip or maybe a 3-day trip, or maybe like we'll go for a week together. But I'm not just trying to spend time with Dave and nothing like that with his pocketbook, nothing like that. Never. But we're going to put together a Disney Boys Part 2 trip. Back to the X-Men.
I also have to just shout out, we're talking reels and stuff like that. Shout out our boy Kyle Gelling. For those that don't know, Kyle, he's done a bunch of stuff. He's on We Gotta Believe With Me. He's done social. He does a lot of like the behind the scenes stuff as well. He has a TikTok that's called Mr. Movie Must Knows. Great. Like give some fun facts, give some takes, some you know, Barstool-y kind of like takes on a lot of shit. He had a thing about what McGregor being the number one highest
paid first time actor of all time, for Roadhouse.
And Robbie's boy just takes the clip, puts it on his Twitter, and just puts it out. And he said it to me. It was like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my God, Kyle. So shout out Kyle, man. That is
so funny.
Wild stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome. Back to the X-Men. Pryor fucks all of them up, basically. Like, they get into this big battle. She turns Morph against them, jams Magneto's powers. Magneto is using his powers in a cool way, too. He's pulling the, like, wiring off of stained glass in this church. Really cool. But the X-Men get fucked up in this battle, essentially. Back at the X-Mansion, Jean senses this, and her and Logan have a connection very movie-like. Very much felt like the movies we just recapped, like the X-Men trilogy. And it gets a little spicy. He's like, think of how much you mean to all of us. And she's like, I mean all that to you. Hits her with the more. It's like, whoa, Logan, put it back in your pants for a second. She hasn't even taken the IV out of her arm, dude.
And then she's like, yeah, but Scott. And then she just, our boy Cyclops got another W. She fucking swerved him. And then she puts up the ponytail being like, I got to get the business.
I'm going to war,
Fellas, when your girl puts up the hair into a ponytail, it usually means a very good thing. This meant something even better somehow for Cyclops, because Jean was about to fucking unleash the Phoenix Force kind of energy on the motherfucking Goblin Queen's mind. So that was incredible.
Also, how about her hitting Hank with a beast, please?
I didn't.
He's like, you can't go to battle. Lay back down. She's like, beast, please.
Beast, please.
I just heard us. Beast, please.
Beast was dropping.
Oh, that's the hashtag for this week, by the way. Hashtag beast, please.
Definitely, definitely. Beast was dropping us all the beastisms, all my stars and garters, and he was just dropping all the little fucking sayings. I'm like, cook, Hank. Cook, young Hank. Cook.
When they went to hell, he's like, oh, I do share an affinity for Dante's Inferno, but not quite like this. We get it. You read the book. Yeah, we get
it. Was there any part of you that thought there might be a Mephisto? I was hoping.
Oh, no, actually, it didn't even cross my mind.
scouring, Bob. I was scouring the screen looking for any kind of hints from Mephisto. I'm still stuck in 2021 WandaVision times in my brain.
It's good that it didn't cross my mind. Like Mephisto is going to hit me when I least expect it.
Exactly.
Very X3 type scene from like Professor X meeting Jean Grey as a child, him rolling up,
Yep.
talking to her parents for a little bit. Thought that
Did you
was
notice
cool.
the doll?
No, what was the doll?
It's a Cyclops.
Oh, interesting.
Does Jean have a thing for just Cyclopses in general? And then she
heard that was his X-Men name, and she was like, ooh.
Or did she almost see her own future that she was going to be in love with the Cyclops? I don't. There's a lot of different ways it can go, but someone pointed out that it's like a little Cyclops doll that has one eye, and I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't make. But that's typical.
It's interesting.
It's deep, man. There's layers. It's some Shrek shit. It's like an ogre. It's like an onion.
And then Jean gets through to Jean, and they get Nathan back. They get the baby back, but did they really get him back? Did they get him back like he was before? No. He's got this genetic disease. We know what that's going to turn into later.
Baby mutant AIDS. Baby AIDS, we'll call it.
It kind of is. He's green all over the place. You never want a baby being green. And they give him to Bishop and take him to like a different dimension, different universe. And hopefully, they basically tell him you can't stay on our universe. As much as it hurts to give the baby up, we have to give the baby up. Crazy emotional for like episode 3, and then the final scene is Storm meeting Forge, who we will, I'm sure, learn a lot more about this season. I know he's very important to the X-Men comics.
So I forgot all about Forge, and as soon as I saw him, I go, "Oh shit, Forge is here!" And I was like, "I don't remember what Forge was." I just was like, it's been imprinted in my brain. So it was great to see that. I can't believe the amount of ground they covered in 25 minutes.
I know, yeah. Like that, I mean, it took us 25 minutes to recap it.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then you think of the first 2 episodes along with this, and it's like they've just crushed comics upon comics worth of material. And it's like, and we're still rolling. It doesn't feel like, all right, there's going to be a break. It's going to be another twist. Our girl Storm, she's going to lose her power for 1 episode. Just like hilarious to me. Again, that's very soap opera-ish, where I'm like, this woman's been in a coma for like a year in your show. And then she wakes up and it's like, oh, but it was all a dream. And then I'm like, oh, that's so everything you just watched is like down the toilet. She's like, yeah, that's how it works. I'm like, oh, okay. So I want to shit on it, but we're kind of doing the same thing here in the comic book world. But I love it. I fucking love it. And that, but yeah, giving up your kid to the future, knowing, and I kind of remember Cable. He has some issues. He definitely has some issues.
Yeah, he's got some issues. Yeah.
She tried to like give him the old Jean Grey, I love you, don't forget me kind of thing. I imagine that shorts out when you take a, jump to the future into like a bleak world or whatever.
He's going to become like a robot fucking Terminator assassin. Like, yeah.
I just rewatched Deadpool 2 out of the like blue. It was right before this, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I kind of have grown up, baby Nathaniel. I got to see him all grown up. He sounds just like Thanos.
Well, that'll be a good transition to our next show because Deadpool 2 features Domino, played by Zazie Beetz, and Zazie Beetz is also the voice of Amber in Invincible. Boom. Now we got to talk about a little dilemma here with Invincible. We're getting ready to do the podcast. I'm like, you ready to do the podcast? You're like, yup, just watched Invincible, episode 6. I was like, that wasn't this week's. You were like, did they release 2 this week? Did they release 2 last week? We were trying to figure out where we went wrong here. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you were just a week behind. So last week, I believe you were recapping Invincible episode 5, and I was recapping Invincible episode 6.
How did this happen? Did we not recap the first week? I don't understand.
No, we didn't.
That's why. Okay. So I must have watched 5 and like, all right, I'm caught up. Thinking, and so I must not have watched it as soon as it came out the first week, and I must have caught with like in between. So yeah, well, there was a line where I said something like, "Oh, that guy, I was just starting to like that guy." We're talking about Rex, and then thinking he's dead, and then he's very much alive in episode 6. And
I remember a few like confusing. I was like, "Who are you talking about there?" Because I thought you were talking about like Immortal. You were talking about someone at the end of the episode, and I was like, "There's some Immortal at the end of the episode." It makes sense now that we were recapping 2 different episodes. So you watched 6 and 7. So now you're caught up, and I thought 7 was honestly really good. I thought 7 was one of the better episodes of the season.
Yes, I agree. I'm very happy the senior moment didn't come out yet. If we were just doing that the rest of the season, where I was always one episode behind, and then you're recapping the finale, I'm like, wait, what happened? What?
Just spoiling things for you? Yeah.
That would have been a doozy. But then I wanted to be known that's not an old person. My brain stinks, and I had the coffee incident that will live in infamy on this podcast. This was not that. I think it was just a little hiccup. You're having a day off here and there, and then that's like. When
I mean, it's as much on me as it is on you for not like putting it together, recapping last week. I feel like
this, and I just caught up to Invincible, so I'm learning the release patterns. I thought we got
give us a break. Nobody's even giving a shit for
it. There's at least one person who's like, oh shit, they probably are in the same boat that I'm in right now. So
maybe,
if that's the case, make sure you watch 7. Spoilers if you haven't, and then come back here. Anyway, going back to the last week's episode that I didn't recap, again, I kind of like Rex now. He was such an absolute scumbag.
I like Rex.
The first scene. And it's not even like, oh, he was misunderstood. Like, he was an asshole to all the chicks in his life, which he basically admits to. And then this episode, the meta jokes I loved with the animation.
Oh, my God. I was going to say that's where to start because it was my favorite scene in the episode. Mark goes to Comic-Con with Amber and he wants to talk to like his favorite, artist or whatever on this book. And they did this in the comics with comic books, though. So they were like, we reuse panels, and they would do 3 of the exact same image in a row and stuff. But it's a very, very on-the-nose meta scene where they're like, sometimes we'll show the back of a character's head to avoid animating their mouths. Sometimes we'll do a large pan out where you can barely tell that nobody's moving at all, and it's very obvious. And sometimes we'll do a close-up. The way that was handled was so good. Even just Comic-Con in general, it looked like the fucking Javits Center. Some of the structures in the back, like the outside of it looked like LA, and they had a guy dressed as like fake Thanos outside. He kind of looked like Thanos. There was the Invincible guy. He's like, oh, fuck, do I look like that? Like a shitty costume, shitty impression or whatever. That was my favorite stuff in the episode. And then he has to leave to go. He thought he was going to save Rex, but Rex is like, let me fucking do this alone, fighting the Octo Boss. And that was another, like, I thought that this episode started super strong with the back-to-back scenes there, because Rex killing it with the wrist rocket and being like, I should have fucking done that from the start. That was great.
I like how we're going to like start liking characters that we were clearly meant to hate. I'm sure we're going to hate characters we're supposed to love at some point. I'm sure it's happened already. This is how you know a show like this has likes. And again, going back to the misunderstanding that I've just caught up to Invincible. This was I crushed a season and a half to get caught up. Then they took a fucking hiatus on me out of the blue.
Never do that again.
Never do that again. They're gonna do it again. I know they're gonna do it again. And that whole meta joke is just because they're like, yeah, guys, we're fucking burnt out. It takes a ton of work and it's a ton of money, so we have to do this.
It did feel like that. They were talking to the audience with that one. They were like, how about you chill the fuck out? We're trying here. Donald discovers his past. This was another good scene too, where he's talking to is it Cecil, and he's like, what's going on with it? Cleared my memories, and he's like, it was your choice. Like, don't say I never fucking told you shouldn't have done this. He shows him the computer, all the various times he's died trying to fucking save the world. He realizes, all right, maybe I made the right choice when I wanted to clear those memories. Pretty traumatic shit. And Mark's old principal's back. I like Mark's old principal.
Yeah, it's Carl Winslow, baby. Carl Winslow's back. I love it, man. Yeah. Reginald Val Johnson, Al Powell as well in Die Hard. I have a little bit of fan fiction in my head, and I want to know if you would like to play along with it.
Okay.
Donald, every time I see him, I think of our boy Trent. I'm going to say Donald is Trent's older brother.
Oh, I love that, because he's kind of got the hair. Yeah.
He got the hair.
Trent with sunglasses, like Trent in his security days.
A Midwestern disposition, I'd say, too, right?
Yeah.
High, it's like, and he doesn't go by Don or Donnie. He goes by Donald, right? Very Donald. Proper. Yes, exactly. So,
did you see the tweet I had about Trent earlier?
I did not. Want a live reaction to
it? This was crazy. Don't even look up the tweet. No, I want to tell you live. I do the rundown today with Smitty and Fibs. We got nothing to talk about in the after show. No dramas unfolded, no big stories. So I suggest right before we go live, I said, let's just make up a wild rumor about Trent. I said, cue me up. I'll make up a wild rumor about Trent. I love doing that. Once on the rundown, I said, everyone tweet Trent happy birthday if you made it this far. And they were like, it's Trent's birthday? I was like, no, that's why it's fun. So I make up this rumor that Trent's down in Florida shooting Breaking 90 with Frankie, and he got bit by an alligator in his left calf. I was like, he got bit by an alligator. Thank God it wasn't his fingers. He got a couple stitches. He's okay. They got it on video. I'm sure they'll put it out. I said, Frankie chased the alligator off of the 9-iron. And Smitty called it out immediately. He's like, this is a fake story. Frankie would never chase anything off. So we joked about it. I admitted on the rundown. I was like, yeah, it was a fake story. I made it up. Dude, 3 hours later, Trent posts a fucking Instagram story from a golf course in Florida. Had no idea he was in Florida, of an alligator.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, and we regretted immediately. I sent it to everyone that did the rundown and John Rich. We were like, we should have fucking never said it was a lie on the rundown, because people seeing a picture of an alligator on a story and then hearing that's, oh my God. But that really made us laugh. What a crazy coincidence. I thought they were in Georgia. Truly thought they were in Georgia, because Trent had a story from there a couple of days ago. Crazy.
Bob, you might be force sensitive here. You might be getting like dreams.
Maybe a mutant gene.
Yeah, maybe a mutant gene. Are you the real Robbie Fox, or are you the Madeline Pryor? Are you the Goblin Queen?
I do have blue eyes, which they say is a mutation. So I always used to be like, I'm a mutant. Like when I was growing up, I thought that was
That's
cool.
What that sick fuck Charles would say to you at the bar. Oh, you have a mutation.
Yeah.
You like to go to my mansion in Westchester?
We get a big date montage with Mark and Amber. Eventually, that's interrupted by a Viltrumite who comes down and fucking threatens Amber. It's like the first time she's been threatened in that way. She grips the back of her neck. They go up in the sky. They start talking. Eventually, this giant like sea monster attacks a cruise ship. So they got to go fucking fix the cruise ship. The Viltrumite beats his ass when he doesn't want to join. And like she puts her foot on his face, his neck, kind of. And she's like, I'll give you the option or whatever. And he says, fuck no. And she just steps on it further. You hear the snap, the crack or whatever. That was a brutal scene. But everything about that like cruise ship disaster and then battle, little fight afterwards, awesome.
Our boy Mark rides for us, man. I appreciate that as a human.
Yeah.
In the real world, not a cartoon, this fictional world. I just want to say I appreciate you, Mark. Whatever universe you're in, this guy has got his being to the brink of death by his father, and then this Viltrumite, who I love it. They're just like, Mark, we've done the scans. You are fucked, pal. Do not engage. Do not engage. Just say you're gonna do it. Just say you're gonna do it. And he's just like, no. And is like every bone in his body breaks. So yeah, shout out Mark.
And then that's not the only break, because him and Amber break up. Unfortunately, they're done. Which I didn't realize this. Did you know people hate Amber? Like a lot of people online are like, thank God she's gone off the show. Like I always thought she was a fine character. Last week we were praising how understanding she was of Mark's superhero lifestyle.
I feel like a lot of the times you get the typical trope girlfriend who's like gets upset about the stuff in the beginning, which you would understand lying and disappearing for months at a time. Very fair criticisms, by the way. And she was like, oh no, she's pretty fucking cool. But the breakup
written well too. Even their little argument at Comic-Con in this episode was like a realistic back and forth of like, are we doing like what you want to do? And like, who says I'm not enjoying this? Like, it's like you could feel the little tension like building in their relationship.
Now, I also have to admit, I didn't realize that Zazie Beetz, who plays Domino, is the voice of her.
I'm pretty sure, right? I'm like 90% sure that's true.
I don't know. I will say this. When I watched Deadpool 2, I was reminded that I have a crush on Domino. So I kind of now, ipso facto, I guess it's the same person. Same goes for our girl.
It's Zazie Beetz.
Amber here. Is Zazie Beetz? Okay. Yep. So
yeah. She's great in Deadpool 2. I'm sad that she's apparently not in 3.
Oh, really? I thought we'd definitely get like if you were in Deadpool 1 and 2, you're almost dead. Except for TJ Miller, who like is canceled or whatever the fuck.
Unfortunately.
Everyone else I thought would be in it, so that's a bummer, man. I was like, do I watch this movie? Is this part of? Do we have to do a Deadpool 1 and 2 rewatch if we're doing all the X-Men?
Maybe we should do them together.
Yeah, maybe we'll do them. What is that? July it comes out.
July 26th. So we still got a couple months.
So do you think Amber's gone now? That's my question. Do you think she's out of the show, or do you think she's gonna kind of?
I think she'll pop back in. She's probably gone as a regular character, though. I don't think she'll be in every episode.
Okay. One of my takes from the doubles episode I watched today, because I had to watch 6 and 7. I feel like Adam, Eve, and Invincible are getting together. I feel like, but I thought it was going to be like potentially scandalous, which wouldn't feel like he would do that to her. So that's why the only reason why I was like, I don't, but I think maybe they get together and then Amber's gonna be pissed that they're together. I do think that felt inevitable. Just the way the characters is like, even the little subtle things for a cartoon that you pick up on, you're like, oh shit, it feels like there's something there.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the mailbag presented by our friends at Game Time. Game Time is the best ticketing app in the world. We talked about opening day today. You can get the cheapest opening day tickets available on Game Time. Mets playing tomorrow. It'll be today. If you're listening to this on release day, you could probably still get tickets to them today. Go to Citi Field, watch the Mets lose. The Yankees are going to be great this season. They got a win today. It was very nice. You could also get Yankees tickets. They might be a little more expensive than Mets tickets, though, for obvious reasons. Sorry, Clem, I had to do it to you. I could see the steam coming out of your ears on the end. Apple needs to add that effect. You know, they got the fucking thumbs up or whatever now.
We're the best opening day team of all time. We don't do anything else right, but we're the best opening day team of all time. The New York goddamn Mets. I know the Family Guy meme. It's not true. It's the second game is where
go to Game Time right now, though, so you don't have to worry about buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to sports, music, comedy, theater events near you. Get Broadway tickets on Game Time. They've got flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals for when you're feeling flexible. Their lowest price guarantee means that you can find the same seats for less anywhere else. Game Time, or if you can find the same seats for less anywhere else, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. They'll pay you. Game Time is the best place for last-minute seats with up to 60% off your favorite events. Just went to Fall Out Boy on Game Time. Shout out Game Time for that. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy tickets to see the Yankees very soon. I would love to go to a Yankee game. Got to pick a nice day, pick a nice matchup because I want to see the Yankees win. And I'll definitely go to Yankee Stadium this year.
Yeah. I'm going to join you, Bob.
Oh, yeah? You'll go to a game with me?
Yeah, I want to scout out Juan Soto because we actually have an owner that spends money. He'll be a Met next year. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
All right.
Luckily, I'll be able to
That'd be fun, though. I'd like to go to a game with you. That'd be fun. Is there a Yankees-Mets game early in the season?
I don't know. They've changed these Subway Series games around so much that I don't even know what it is. Let's see. Subway Series 2024. There's going to be no easy way to figure this out, is there? Subway Series North. I'm getting pop-up ads. Go to Game Time. It's going to be
Game Time. You'll find it out there.
June 25th, 26th in Queens. July 23rd and 24th in the Boogie Down.
I think I'll be in town for that. That'd be really fun to go to.
I think that would be fun. Where are we going to? How are we going to get our tickets, Bob? Where are we going to go?
On Game Time, and we'll take the guesswork out of buying our tickets. You download the Game Time app, or you go to their website. It's gametime.co, C-O, not com, co. And create an account, use the code MMB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. It really is the best. Super easy to use. You'll get the tickets right away. Send them to your friends. It's great. Now let's get into the mailbag. We had a bunch of people send in questions for us about absolutely anything. Doesn't have to be about X-Men or Invincible. We're going all over the map today. We start off with a longtime listener, Jake Patterson. He says, favorite sword from anything besides lightsabers. He says lightsabers could kind of be their own category. Don't count those. Favorite sword elsewhere. If you wanted to count lightsabers as their own category, I feel like I have three that I'm like really partial to.
3 lightsabers that I'm partial to. This is the nerdiest podcast you'll see all week. Let's hear it, Bob.
Obviously, the Skywalker saber that I've got on my arm. Yep. It's gone through all 3 generations. It feels like the definitive lightsaber to me in the Star Wars saga because of that. But as far as like me aesthetically, stuff that I like, I'm a green guy. So I like green lightsabers, mainly Qui-Gon. There was the one that I played with the most as a kid. It's like it has a lot of black in it compared to other hilts. It kind of looks like it's like got a rubber grip or something. I always thought that looked cool. And Luke's Return of the Jedi hilt coming out of R2-D2, the pop-up, everything about that lightsaber, even the deleted scene of him finding the Kyber crystal. I love that one. So other than that, what is your favorite sword, Clem?
So I have 2. One, actually, no, I have 3 that immediately come to my head. Number 1, shout out Basin Boy, former Basic Boy of the Week, Sam Lauderdale. I got the Sword of Omens from Thundercats. I remember once I was like, I got to get this. Sam Lauderdale just like, buy this. He sent me some money, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to buy the Sword of Omens. Took it out on House of the Dragon. That was a lot of fun. I also have to hide it in my garage because if AJ finds out there's a real sword here, multiple people will be dead in my house. That's number one with a bullet. Thundercats was my favorite show growing up. So that's number one. Number two, I do have a little thing called He-Man because that was before Thundercats. I loved He-Man, so He-Man sword. But the third, Game of Thrones, is like Sword City, obviously. So I loved Longclaw. That was my favorite sword that actually got used, Jon Snow's sword. However, fucking Ice, the goddamn sword of Ned Stark.
Ned.
It was so goddamn big, they broke it down to two swords. That thing is like so badass. It's almost, oh shit, I got another one. I'm a sword guy. I'm learning I'm a
You're
sword
guy. You got a top 4 swords. You're laughing at me for having a top 3 lightsabers. You got a top 4 swords.
Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. That's an iconic
big
sword.
One, right? The giant one.
And he spins it around after every battle, which is a very unsafe thing to do looking back. What was he thinking doing that? So
I'm a Longclaw guy myself. I love specifically the hilt of Longclaw. The dire wolf, having your fucking your pet on the hill always reminds you love that thing. Like if I had a sword, I'd put faith on there.
Exactly. And I think it used to be a bear because that was Mormont's sign, and then they whittled it down to the dire wolf. If I had to get like a real sword for battle, I guess. I don't know what else I had to have. If I had to get a second sword to have in my house, I would get Longclaw. That was when I was checking out, when I was like checking out of the Etsy store for the Sword of Omens. It's like, while you're here, you might also be interested in Longclaw. And I was like, do I go for 2 and go for this? Like, can't be a 2-sword guy. 2 quarterbacks, you don't have none. 2 swords, you don't have none. I'm a Sword of Omens guy. But those are my top.
You got 2 swords. Like, at what point do you have a sword collection? You don't want to be the guy with the sword collection.
No,
no offense to any listeners with a sword collection. Because honestly, if you have a man cave cool enough, I'm sure you could pull that off.
But the other thing is, though, you're then like the Florida guy. Like, Florida guys have sword, and you're like the kung fu guy, and you're never wearing a shirt. Who's the guy that plays the brother in The Bear who's dead, who dies?
Oh, John Berthenol, right?
Yes. Like, he had the character he plays in Wolf of Wall Street. He's like a hardo. He's a drug That's a sword guy in my mind. Like a diehard. And nothing wrong with it, but that's who you're keeping your like company with. And I'm looking up right now on Etsy if someone has the Cloud Strife sword from Final Fantasy VII, because that's a reckless thing.
How would you order that? That would come in a fucking piano box. That thing's massive.
It is. Let's see. Buster Sword, Masamune Cloud, 52 inches. 52 inches. That's a little bit.
That's like a big TV.
Feet. Yeah, that's 4-footer. It's
also, how heavy would that be? Would it have to? It'd have to be made out of something really light.
I'll tell you how heavy it would be, Bob. Let's see if we have the thing right here. It's stainless steel, so we're dealing with a legitimate sword. $180 on Etsy. Ships from New York. Oh, it's basically here already.
We don't pick it up.
Could arrive by April 3rd to 10th. Handmade. Good. We're taking care of, like, this isn't just, some faceless corporation. 133 centimeters. Again, we have the inches up top, so we don't have to do the math there. I don't see a weight, though. Unfortunately, I need to see a weight.
Yeah, they're not telling you because it's going to show up and you're not even going to be able to pick it up. It's like Mjolnir.
And you know what you're going to do. You're going to try to do the old Cloud after the battle, swing it behind your back, dead, head off. Game over. I blog about it because I have to, and we're making jokes at your dead bodies. I have to like think about this heavy, like top 5, like current favorite swords. I'm a sword guy. I'm a sword guy. Guys, I'm a sword guy. Why run from it? I have a sword no more than 15 yards away from me right now. If you can say that at any time, you're a sword guy, and I'm a sword guy. Proud of it.
Our next question comes from SpongeBob Lose Pants. He says, if you could have free reign to make a movie tomorrow, what would it look like? This is a tough question to answer because my brain goes all over the place. I do have 3 kind of movie ideas that came right to mind. One, I think I've talked about on the podcast before. One is a rough and rowdy horror movie idea where some of the rough and rowdy towns we've gone to are not so nice. And some of them don't even have cell service unless you have like their local provider. So it's like you text people like, all right, I'll see you. I'll text you later tonight. You drive into the mountains, so you lose cell service. So that just is a good premise for a horror movie in the first place. I kind of think it should be the townspeople taking over and making us fight. Like, you know, like you make us fight. Now we're making you fight to the death. I think that would be cool.
Rough and Rowdy meets Deliverance. Is that a fair way to put
it? Yeah. That meets like even like Squid Game a little bit, like the way that they're making those people fight. Like I feel like that'd be cool. One is kind of like Almost Famous, which is one of my favorite movies. But instead of a kid meeting a band, he's meeting wrestlers and trying to break into the wrestling business. Just because that's kind of like, you know, my high school experience. I feel like I could write a story that, I don't know. I'm not saying I could write a movie. I couldn't, but I could write that story because I'm familiar with it.
Roadie. Does that get called Roadie? I feel like that's the title.
Roadie's good. Yeah. They call like kind of like a term for groupies.
That's a band
ring rat.
Yeah. Oh, ring rat. Okay, that's
ring
perfect.
Rat.
Now,
but like you wouldn't call a guy that.
That's what I'm saying. It's
kind of a derogatory. Yeah.
Okay. They don't have a guy thing like you get picked up by the wrestling circus.
Marks. He's a mark.
Yeah. Marks. There's maybe a lot of wrestling terms are fucking so good, man. I love wrestling.
Yeah, it's like literally a carny vocabulary.
Yeah.
And my third one isn't really my idea. It was my brother's idea, but I think it would be a good movie. My brother and my uncle, my whole family, a lot of them were stagehands for years. And the idea of a Clerks style comedy taking place on like the fly floor, like backstage at a Broadway show. I know it seems like a very niche thing, but I think it would be very funny.
So I have one answer to this, and it's a movie I have talked about for a while. I just thought of it. Again, don't have near the talent to write one, to even come up with like a legitimate universe or a bunch of characters. It would take me a long time to get it ironed out, but I love this idea. And it's just a high school lunchroom. It's just called The Lunchroom. And you learn about everything that's going on in everyone's life through just the conversations at the lunch table. Now, granted, I'm sure the lunch tables now are a lot different than they were when I was a kid. We didn't have phones and you didn't have all the different things to distract you. But like you don't even know what happens, but you can see how their lives are progressing just through the stories at the lunch table. And I just think
I like that.
Fucking good ass time.
Set it in the 90s to make sure there's no phone distractions.
You know? Boom. that took away the biggest problem we had at the start movie. Bob did it with one sentence. Perfect. Bob.
And then you get a bunch of needle drops of your favorite 90s music.
Yes, exactly. And you're like, oh man, like the new Biggie came out, and it's like, oh man, Biggie's dead. Like you kind of like those are things that just happen. Your favorite artist just died at the drop of a hat. Like I feel like
it's like you hear. I could picture this already. We could make this movie. Someone walking into a lunchroom, headphones on, pans down to their Walkman, and as soon as they hit like eject, then like the song stops and the dialogue starts.
We're on to something. And you know what? Right outside my lunchroom, there was 2 payphones that if you had to like ever call your mom or anything. So very 90s. That's the old Snapple machines. We get the old Snapple cans in there. All right, Bob, we're cooking. We just need someone to just make this entire movie for us, and we're good. Or AI could probably do it in like 3 to 5 years. So whatever happens first.
They made Seinfeld for a while. Yeah, I think eventually it got racist though, which was no good.
That was the fucking fall of man. It was like take all the stuff you guys say online, and we're gonna make Seinfeld episodes out of it. And within a week, it was canceled.
Yeah, that was bad. Player Prop Man says, Robbie, give us a breakdown of your top 10 favorite Jedi, not best or strongest, just personal favorite. And I said to you, Clem, beforehand, I said, come up with your top 5. I'm not going to ask you to come up with 10 because even me, guy with a lightsaber tattoo on his arm, huge Star Wars diehard fan, bury me in my Star Wars merch. I'm like 10. I mean, by 9, I'm like, I guess I'll throw fucking Plo Koon on the list. But like, let me go through my 10. Number 1, it's an obvious one. It's Luke Skywalker. If Luke Skywalker is not your number 1, I don't know what you're doing. Number 2, the little green man, Yoda. Absolutely love Yoda. Always have, always will. Number 3, Obi-Wan, guy who taught Luke most of what he knows, whether it be in real life or through the Force. Number 4, my boy, Qui-Gon. I said I played with his lightsaber the most as a kid. I probably watched The Phantom Menace the most out of every Star Wars movie when I was a kid. So it does speak to what George was trying to do, appeal to little kids. It did work, which is crazy. It's a movie about space taxation and shit. It's probably fast forward into the final battle a little more than I should have been, but it is what it is. Number 5, I'm going to do something that pisses people off, Clem. It's going to piss people off putting this person top 5. It's Rey Skywalker. It is. I think Rey is a great character played by a great actress in Daisy Ridley. I feel bad that she was kind of hit with the Star Wars curse and hasn't been in much since Star Wars. She's now coming back. I'm excited to see what she does. The bottom half, 6 through 10, I'll go through quick. Ahsoka, which a lot of people should probably say I should have higher, especially people would put her higher than Rey, but I'm a sequel trilogy stan. I'm not ashamed of it either. Number 7, Mace Windu. Number 8, Kit
Mace
Fisto.
Windu stinks. I'm just going to say that. Mace Windu stinks.
I'm not going to lie. He might have been higher on my list before Tales of the Jedi. Seeing him kind of like get all the credit for Count Dooku's work and, rise up the ranks that way. And then also just the worst arresting skills of all time. He shows up with the squad of like 10 to get an old man. And that was just really bad. My final 3, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, and Kanan Jarrus. Kanan maybe could be higher as well. He is voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr. He's the guy from Rebels.
Is any of those the guy with the super big head? Is that one of them?
No, Ki-Adi-Mundi. He didn't make it on mine. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? His head always freaked me out a little too much as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
A little too veiny,
George might have been going for something else there. That's
Who are your top 5, Clem?
Okay, number 5. This one might be controversial. Finn. He was a Jedi, right? We're led to believe, or they just started that story and then just kind of forgot about it in the sequel trilogy?
They kind of forgot about it, and then in 9, they kind of implied maybe, it was weird. Yeah,
I fucking hate the sequel trilogy. I'm not afraid to admit that. The sequel trilogy. I'm just kidding. He's not my 5. He's not.
I didn't think he would be.
My true number 5 is R2-D2. I don't care what anyone says. That motherfucker's a Jedi. The stuff that broke for my guy R2, well, you can tell me droids can't be Jedi. Oh, you're racist then. That's R2-D2. And honestly, he's my favorite character, but in terms of Jedi, I don't know how much work R2-D2 put in. Just because he was a droid, he probably didn't even know what Jedis really were, but he was a fucking Jedi, so I don't care what anyone says. The stuff he gets out of the jams, he's a Jedi. There's no other way around it. Number 4, Obi-Wan. Honestly, Obi-Wan might have been higher before his series, which didn't really include a lot of good Obi-Wan stuff. Ruined a lot. We're not even going to go there. We're not going to go there. We already read the sequel trilogy. We're not going to go to the Obi-Wan show. Number 3, I don't know if he's technically considered. He's definitely not considered a Jedi yet. He probably doesn't have like the fucking pin or whatever they give out to these guys.
I know where this is going.
It's the little guy, little baby yo.
I didn't know if I could put him on there, so I didn't yet, but we know he's going in that direction.
I had like Finn. I had a lot of jokey stuff on there. I was like, I got to actually put some Jedis on here, and I don't know I didn't know.
Don't say Jedis. The plural of Jedi is Jedi.
Excuse me. I apologize. Number 2, it's the other green guy, the old green guy, yo. And then number 1, no surprise. Before he was a Sith Lord, Jar Jar was a great Jedi. No, I choose to believe in the Darth Jar Jar that he was made from pure evil from day one, and he was never had an ounce of good in him. Jar Jar. Number 1's Luke, of course. If you
it's a chalk pick, but come on, if you don't have Luke number 1, you're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Brady. It's like Tom Brady. It's like no matter if you hate the Patriots, you're still like that's the fucking goat. And when he won in New England, it's like this guy. Actually, you can make a case if you hated the sequel trilogy enough that like Luke kind of disappoints you there, but he still like helps out, wins in his own certain special way. So you got to go. Luke. That was kind of his New England years were the sequel trilogy. Or, I'm sorry, Tampa Bay years, his Bucs years.
Fair enough. He got a Super Bowl, so I'll take that.
Yeah, he'll take that. I'll take that.
TJ writes in, he says, Marvel rumor you hope is true, and Marvel rumor you hope is not true. So I thought about this for a while. The one I hope is true is Javier Bardem as Galactus. Mm-hmm. I think that's perfect casting. I think that would be awesome. So cool. The one I hope is not true is that Spider-Man 4, Sony is pushing it to be a multiverse movie. I really loved the way that they set up No Way Home to kind of give us a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man again. Someone that's grounded, taken, he's had everything taken from him. He's living in this grungy, dirty New York City apartment again. He doesn't know Tony Stark and the Avengers and have access to all that technology again. And the rumor is that Kevin Feige and Tom Holland are kind of pushing for more grounded underground story. I hope that is very much the case. What about you?
Are they also saying in that movie that it's going to have like multiple villains? It's going to be villain packed with not just be one.
I think Sony wants that, and I feel like this Marvel Studios side is pushing for that's not really what we set up in the last movie.
Yeah. Now this is the only thing. I feel like Sony's doing that. They're being like, if we put our shitty villains that we've fucked up in their own movies in a Marvel movie, then they get like the Marvel shine. They're good again, and then we're gonna probably fuck it up with their own. You know, they're gonna do what Sony does, right? And it'll be fucked up, but they'll get a bunch of money in the meantime. There. One I hope is true is that we're going to get some Doom sooner rather than later. You know, I think it's like there's been enough smoke. This is the wrestling episode, it seems. You just hear enough times that guy's coming back or spotted backstage. You know that wrestler is going to show up at some point on Raw or whatever it may be. So Doom coming back. The one I hope is not true. I don't think we should just get rid of Kang altogether. I think there's so many. We've talked about this a million times on this podcast. It's the one guy you can just change. Just because you had that one post-credits fucking scene. It wasn't even part of the movie, really, where all the Kangs are jumping around. You'd be like, oh, they died on their way back to the home planet like fucking Poochie. Yeah. Done. We're good. You already have Kang in the world. Don't just like erase him, because we're going to remember Jonathan Majors, whether it's in fucking 10 months or 10 years. We're still going to remember how this all fucking went down. So just like, it's just too much of a character. It's like, let's get all these fucking, like, it's when you're playing a video game. It's nice to be able to unlock all the characters one by one. Sometimes just nice just to put the cheat code in, and then every character is selectable. And I want to have the whole entire Marvel universe selectable now, especially after guys kind of struggled with the characters that were available to the last few years. We got the X-Men, we got the Fantastic Four. Fuck it, give us the whole goddamn character selection screen, even the super duper secret cool character. And you know what? You can keep the super duper secret cool characters, but everything else, put them fucking selectable for us. The Lego Marvel game is the perfect example. Once you get all those characters, like, oh my God, we have so many.
Dude, any Lego game, when you get all the characters and you just see them all lined up for you do a free play mission or something, you just feel rich. You feel like the richest man in the world. You're like, I could play as Jango Fett, Boba Fett, General Grievous. I could play as an Ewok if I want to. Like, it is the greatest feeling. By the way, speaking of Marvel character selection screen, this Marvel Rivals game that's coming out, it's like a game from Epic Games, the Fortnite people. It's Overwatch based, free to play. It looks awesome. Have you seen the trailer? Based on your reaction, I don't think you have.
I do not. I'm like looking into it now. How to sign up for it? Like it's a fucking, they're beta testing and alpha testing, whatever the fuck that means. Wow.
So I never played Overwatch, but I know how big Overwatch is. I know like huge community. People do tournaments, thousands of people watching Twitch and all that. If it's based on that, if it's half as good, it'll be a pretty popular game because the roster looks amazing. It's fucking, you go as Iron Man, you go as Doctor Strange, making portals, sending Spider-Man through portals. Looks amazing.
This looks awesome. This has potential right here. I am such a
has Basement Boys written all over it.
This has Basement Boys written all over it. I am a button masher when it comes to like superhero games, but I'll button mash the fuck out of this and doing a battle royal or whatever, maybe 6-on-6.
Yeah, and free to play. Like, I'm in. You make a game free to play, I'll try it out for sure.
I still play Fortnite. I won a battle royale with AJ, by the way, who's a fucking 5-year-old. I'm realizing Fortnite battle royal victory royals don't count as much as they used to. But I still fuck with Fortnite because it's free. I'll pay some money to get some cool little, swag or whatever. Like, keep it going, Marvel. This is awesome. I'm excited for Rivals now.
Yeah, it looks really good. Braden Curry says, what new project are you looking most forward to? What new project are you least looking forward to? For me, there's 4 projects mainly that I'm very much the most looking forward to. 4 that are like in active development. The Batman 2, that's my number 1. I loved The Batman so much. My favorite movie of the past couple of years still. Superman, James Gunn's Superman, your boy, Nebraska's own. Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, coming up this summer. And then the Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four is going to be awesome. I'm like really hopeful based on all the little concept art we've seen where their suits look like they're like knitted and the rumors we're hearing that it's a different universe and they'll weave it in. The cast, who we love, like all four, at least I love all four of the cast members that they have as the family. I'm really excited about that. And then the two I'm looking least forward to, Joker 2. I got to be honest, I wasn't the biggest Joker guy. I like it as a movie. I don't like it as a Joker movie. I don't think it does the Joker justice. I don't think that character feels like the Joker at all. And I don't like the idea of a sequel. I heard the sequel is a jukebox musical. They're going to do 15 songs that we all know with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. It just seems weird to me. It seems like a money grab just because the first one made $1 billion. Because when the first one came out, they were saying we ain't doing a sequel. And the first one doesn't feel set up for a sequel. Anyway, not looking forward to that. Also, not really looking forward to Kraven the Hunter, knowing Sony's probably going to trash another great IP that should be valuable later on. Brave New World, the new Captain America. I'll admit, I'm worried about it. I'm not looking forward to it. But with the reshoots that they've had to do, due to apparently things being a little too real life about the Middle East or even Europe, I don't know what the situation was. Everything about it worries me a little bit.
All right, the one I'm looking forward to the most is.
Oh, look at you! You got a Superman now.
How do you know I didn't have this my whole life? Because I'm such a diehard Superman fan. The other night I just was thinking about it. I think I was watching like an old Guardians clip, and I'm like, man, the guy who did this is going to do a Superman movie. And I've seen it. I've lived long enough to know that doesn't mean the Superman's going to be in the same vein or just as good, whatever. But I just feel calm that he's going to do it right. And I'm excited to get, like, again, I never really got into the Christopher Reeve, which I know were awesome back in their time. And then all the other ones I either didn't love or I just never watched. I'm excited to have a good fucking Superman movie. And he's the fucking the Superman of his comic universe. Whether or not we want to admit it on this podcast or not, he's the dude of all comic books. That kills me as an X-Men fan, but he is what he is. And then I'm trying not to make this against Robbie, despite how rude he was during that Game Time read. But that fucking Captain America movie, the more I hear about it, the more worried I get, Bob. I'm legitimately worried. I heard Bucky's out now. Is that right?
Well, he's always been out, which, again, doesn't really make sense. Why would you do a Captain America movie without him at this point? But I guess, he's for the Thunderbolts, so he's not in this movie. And Anthony Mackie seemed upset. What worries me is Anthony Mackie's like, I was kind of pissed he wasn't in it. It's like, why is Anthony Mackie already upset about this movie? It's tough.
Just bad juju. Something stinks here. Like, I just don't feel good about it. And again, the way the show ended too, it's like, I was riding for this Flag Smashers, which probably is I'm sure if I go back, be like, oh my God, I can't believe I was riding so hard for the Flag Smashers.
Maybe it'll surprise us. Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. That'll be
cool. Hopefully
they don't fuck that up.
And listen, so I'm looking at the others. I'm not excited for Agatha right now. Like, Agatha was fun when it was like, oh, it's her. She had the song. They did all the remix song. We were also like still in COVID world, so things that were, it's like jokes when they're funny when you're like drunk or something, and the next day you look back and like, what the fuck was like? I think Agatha, Ironheart, not really looking too forward to it.
I mean, they wrapped that in fucking 2022. They're saying it's coming out in 2025 because they got to do so many reshoots.
Oh, like. Even Thunderbolts, I'm really just like, I think it's like stuff that was born or is adding on to the stuff that came out the last few years. It's like, well, I didn't really enjoy the first project of this. I don't know why I'm enjoying the next project of it. So I won't even just pile on DC there because I think you could throw a lot of those DC things you did as well. So I'll kind of like pretty much like X-Men, Deadpool, Fantastic Four, like all that shit, very much looking forward to. And a lot of the other stuff, it's kind of just meh. But, and of course, Batman, all that kind of stuff as well. And my guy, Mr. Soup. I'm gonna call him Kent Clark one day, and I'm just gonna I'm telling you right now, March 28th, you can't make fun of me because I know it. I know the right way it is, but I know my brain stinks, and at one point I'm gonna fuck his name up.
And you saying it now, you're already in your own head about it. Like that's gonna also hurt it. Yeah. Our next question from Scott. He says, what Marvel character or characters would you like to see get the X-Men 97 treatment? We didn't necessarily know exactly what this meant. Like, if you want to take an old Marvel show and bring it back like X-Men 97, or like put a new character in the show, or do a show with new characters. I said, if you want to take a show to bring back the 90s Spider-Man cartoon would be it for me. I thought that was a pretty great cartoon, pretty great theme itself. Not X-Men good, but a good theme. And as far as new characters, whether it's bringing them into 97 or giving them their own 90s set show, easy answer, but the Guardians, like we've never seen the Guardians interact with the 90s X-Men. Like something about that seems intriguing to me. So you could also use a different soundtrack for them. It doesn't have to be James Gunn's Guardians, but you could take a lot of that stuff and a lot of that vibe. Could be fun.
Oh, I like that. I have the same thing you did. I had Spider-Man animated series, and it was twofold. One, my boy here. I want my boy to get his Spider-Man thing. I also want more I want so many Spider-Man projects that are Marvel related that you almost forget the bad Sony projects they put out.
Yeah.
Spider Universe. It just waters them down so much where it's like, oh no, everything Spider, because like you think Spider-Man, it's like kind of a sad feeling you get. You're like, it's good, but and you know, when you get the Spider-Verses and stuff, it's fantastic. And the Tom Holland movies, but it's all the other stuff. So you get the animated, and then selfishly, that Marvel animated studio needs to get some more. I said it last week. You need more than just like the what if stuff. So you get X-Men in there, you get the Spider-Man animated. So that's that. I wasn't thinking which heroes would I want brought into 97. I'm going to look here from the portal scene that I have up drawn. I'm trying to think. Like I always loved like the Avengers. I know they had like the little Avenger series. You could get a couple of those guys. I'm just going to go. I want, and staying in the X-Men universe, I was looking it up, and I guess Iceman was in it, and I think he left the X-Men in the cartoon. I don't remember this.
Because he had a figure for sure.
I loved Iceman. He was one of my favorite. When I had the toys, he was one of my go-to guys that I would play with, and he's a big figure, obviously, in the movies with Bobby, and I like that actor. So I'd like it if he's an original X-Man, so I'd like Iceman being more involved. I don't know where his story is in the X-Men. You could just reboot it. No one's gonna, I don't think, say anything. But Iceman was my my dude.
And then finally, from Nick Davidson, what is your dream cameo in Deadpool 3? And I really had to rack my brain for this, to be honest. There wasn't like one that came to mind as like, oh, I need to see so-and-so from X-Men or from the Fox universe or Fantastic Four or whatever. I would like to see Taylor Swift, to be honest. Like, I know that's almost becoming a meme at this point. I think that would be really funny. And like, you would pay off this whole ongoing meme of will she, won't she, whatever. And we kind of got a little bit of this in She-Hulk finale, but I kind of want to see Kevin Feige as himself.
That would be good.
I think that'd be really funny.
It's kind of
like Deadpool is the guy who breaks the fourth wall. Like, go all the way with it.
We don't have Stan Lee anymore, so it's like we're getting the new Stan Lee for the movies. I like that. So I had 3 very different cameos here. One, I mentioned it, I think, when I blogged the Deadpool, one of the trailers or something. I would love it if I'm blanking on her name right now. His wife, Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively.
Well, Blake Lively comes in. Lady Deadpool.
It's Lady Deadpool, or it's his wife in another multiverse or something like that, where she plays Vanessa. 2, we already mentioned him. Mr. M, Mephisto. We love Mephisto. Fire. If there's some sort of like a nod of is it Mephisto? And then 3, I think this could work because it's 20th Century Fox, and Deadpool was 20th Century Fox, and then Disney brought them both. And I know it would be tough to get the actor because he's been battling some health issues. But somehow, some way, where we find out John McClane's a superhero. John McClane.
Well, what was Unbreakable? He was a superhero in that.
That's true. Yeah, he was.
He's not John McClane though. John McClane's your guy. It's not just Bruce Willis. It's McClane.
He's kind of Unbreakable too. It's kind of the same guy if you think about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Right? Yeah, it's pretty similar. All right, that was the mailbag edition of My Mom's Basement X-Men Invincible, where this week we changed it up. We recapped the same episode of Invincible together.
Yes, what a concept.
Hashtag Beast Please if you made it to the end, and we'll be back next week to break all of this stuff down. It'll be a good one next week because it'll be right before WrestleMania. So hopefully, I'll have won that 2K tournament by then. I'll probably be recording from Philly too. I was also thinking this will be a little sneak behind the curtain for the basement listeners. I got to get a shirt made for that tournament, right? Like a custom shirt. I was thinking, do I do like Foxamania, like Hulkamania, or maybe Hot Rob instead of Hot Rod, like Roddy Piper, like something over the top like that.
You are the t-shirt design guy, one design a day for God knows how long, right? So I have nothing but faith in you.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you next week.